Hold on, I'm coming. Yeah, hold on. Just give me a sec. Okay, all right. Hello? Sorry, I just got this call. Hello? I went to get some Taco Bell really fast, but I heard you guys were calling me, and I was like, okay, I guess we're gonna do this. So, hey, hola from Taco Bell.
All right, you gotta stop. Welcome back to the Cool Comic Show. My name is Damien, and over there at Taco Bell is. I'm sorry, what was your name? I didn't catch your name.
Ametista.
Okay. I could have heard it was Amakosi somewhere, but maybe I was.
Oh yeah, it's also Amakosi. Amakosi.
I don't even know
Can I
her
say bitch for the
name.
first
Oh
minute?
my
I don't know if I
god.
can. I don't know if I can. Hold on, I gotta turn on this light over here at Taco Bell. It's kind of dark over here.
Yeah,
Hold
maybe
on.
just tell him go turn it on.
Oh my
Oh,
god, I was having a
what was
seizure.
that
Did you see that? I was having a seizure for a second. Oh my god. Oh my god, those tacos be hitting. They're be
all
buzzing.
right.
I'm like, ah.
Well, thank you for joining us,
go.
Amakaka, from
Y'all
Taco
take
Bell.
Hello? Okay.
Y'all
all
have fun
right.
with this episode. I gotta go.
Why?
I hope
I don't get it.
the internet connection at Taco Bell is strong enough to keep you through this episode.
Yeah, it's all right. It's doing okay. I mean, it's better than the one at White Castle. So
Oh my
like, almost-
god.
Shout out to White Castle.
Yeah, I know.
But my name is Damien, and as always, I have Galactic Mr. E, aka Mr. E, aka Taco B.
No. No, thank you.
Oh my god.
Decline.
We are here to talk
Decline.
about Moon Knight, episode 4.
Moon Knight.
I didn't write down the name of the episode because I'm a good host.
It is The Tomb.
Thank you, Mr. E. The Tomb.
You're welcome.
First impressions. Amakaka, go.
Wait, I was having my burrito.
All right.
All right, so
I don't see a burrito. Why are you lying?
hey, can you role play with me? Jesus, God. All right,
I'm sorry.
Okay. Hey, how's that burrito that you're eating?
it's really good. Thank you for asking.
What type of burrito is it?
Don't worry about it.
What's
Okay.
the temperature in that burrito?
Beefy melt
Is it a-
burrito.
How long
Is
did
it a
Everybody
Moon
order
Knight
that from
themed
Taco Bell.
burrito?
What?
Is it a Moon Knight themed burrito?
Yes, it is. Oh
my
wow, what a
God.
great episode this one was.
That's crazy.
Did you hear me lying? Like, did you hear that? Like,
Yeah.
okay. Look,
No,
we're not gonna start this episode off with me ragging on this episode. I feel like that's all I've been doing in the all the
It's-
episodes.
We want a wide variety.
It's your
of
honest
opinions.
opinion.
It's so crazy because every single one, I'm like, but you know what? Maybe it'll get better. And then every time I watch this episode, and I'm like, it's like, look.
More
I'm
confused.
not. Yes. Oh my god. Okay. In a word, this episode, bewildered.
That's a
And
good
we'll
word.
dive into.
That's
and
a
we'll dive
good
into
fucking
it.
word.
That's the word of the day,
We'll
everybody.
dive into
Word of the day,
That's the word of the
bewildered.
day.
Look it up.
Yes.
There you go.
Look it up.
That's my opinion on that.
Mr. E, your thoughts?
I enjoyed it and also was confused. I enjoyed it for some reasons we'll get into. But I feel like this was one of those episodes that, you would have enjoyed more if you were like
Hi.
into the comics,
You say hi.
Also, hi. Shout out to 420.
I mean, shout out 420. She is at Taco Bell, so
Yeah,
Yes.
that's why I'm here.
Emma Kaka is still recovering from yesterday. That's why they're at Taco
Right.
Bell.
Yeah.
you think doing weed is cool, man?
You like shooting up weed?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. Love it. Or whatever.
But yeah, I enjoyed the episode. I feel like next week is going to be the week of answers. Because
I said this every week. I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
well, no,
But
but that's what they do. They give you answers each week, but it's like not to what you're asking. And then I feel like at this point next week has to be the week, especially after what went down this week and the current state of the main characters.
You would think so.
I
think
feel
so.
like they only got 2 left. I mean, it's got to be next week or the week after, right?
yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, go ahead. I'll tell you what I think it is. Go ahead.
No, it's up to. I enjoyed it. That's the long and the short of it.
So I feel like throughout this season, I feel like I've kind of been in the middle between how Kim feels and how Amakaka feels. Kim is your cousin. I forgot
I
about
don't know
that.
why. What? No. Call me Emma Sexy.
Okay. Anyway,
Alright.
I'm not gonna do
Anyways,
that. But yeah, I feel like that I've shared some feelings how you feel about it. I'm just gonna call you Kim, and that's your nickname. And I have some feelings how E feels about it, where I'm kind of in the middle, where there's parts I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool, and there's parts where I'm like, I don't know if I would have made that decision. I will say, like, I think the concept behind this entire show is cool.
Mhm.
Something after watching this episode, I kind of realized, or I guess something that kind of clicked for me. I was like, oh, I see what they're doing. This show is, if you're a fan of the Moon Knight comics, you're gonna fucking love this show. And I don't know
Mhm.
anything about Moon Knight comics. Kim said she doesn't know anything about Moon Knight comics. I know you mentioned some. Because normally, like with a Marvel, with an MCU project, they'll kind of make it accessible to everybody. And so I
Yeah.
feel like this might be their first time doing it. Like okay, this is for our comic readers, which is not a bad thing. But that's why I feel like it's kind of not as hooking people as much as before. When I was
Mhm.
watching this episode, for the first part of it before the quote unquote twist, I was watching it and I was like, is this, like, I started doubting. I was like, is this how the show's gonna go? I felt like it started losing some of its luster a little bit.
Mm.
When that twist happened, I was like, oh, okay, like that twist got me a little bit more interested in it. But then it kind of went back a little bit where I was like, wait, so did the show actually happen or did it not happen? I
Yeah.
think I'd be more interested in it if it didn't happen at all and that was all in his head. And it was like, because you see all these characters from the previous episodes that are in that institution with him. I was like, okay, this is cool. If like he put this whole thing in his head, it makes sense why Doctor Strange didn't show up when he was turning the sky back and everything. And so that part I would like, but it's kind of implied like, no, that really happened. And now he's in here and that third personality is locked up and there's a hippo walking around and there's cupcakes. And so
Shout out to the hippo.
shout out to the hippo. So I went back and forth a lot on this episode. There was a lot happening, but I was like, I guess my point is, I feel like this twist should have happened last episode. I feel like it stretched out a little bit too much, but I think with this change now, if we're gonna spend our time in this institution or what happened, then I'm on board for that. But it does ask a lot of questions, and like you said before, it's kind of the point of the show. It seems,
Yeah. And like we've been seeing, like, the first two episodes took place in London. These 3 and 4 took place in Egypt. And now I think this episode and then or next week's episode and the finale may take place either in this space or in where I think they are outside of the space, which we'll get into. Which again
we
is
can get into it now. Like because
Well,
I don't know
there's this-
anything about Moon Knight comics like at all.
Same.
So
there's
Same.
this place called the Other Void where the gods kind of stay, which they kind of sort of mention in the last episode, but like not, they beat around the bush.
yeah. So like, are the gods corrupt? How this episode started? Like it's.
That's the thing. We don't know. We don't even know how many gods there are because you see all these statues and there's this Ennead that's supposed to be 9 gods, but like where are the gods really? Are the gods like are the avatars pretending to be the gods? Because the only god that was yelling was Khonshu. So like we don't really we have more answers than questions at this point.
Yeah.
And that's why like with 2 episodes left, I feel like we have to start getting a lot of answers next week, especially since season 2 has not been confirmed and it's marketed as a mini series. We got to start wrapping up some loose ends,
What were we gonna say, Kim?
Well, okay, so I know you're talking about like the avatars and stuff like that, but like when I said I was like bewildered and very like confused earlier, I'm mostly referring to when all of a sudden I forget who it was, either like Steven or Mark or whoever.
Yeah.
And he shows up and he looks at this tomb and he goes, "Do you know who this is?" And in my head I'm like, "Oh my god, who?" And he's like, "Alexander the Great." I was like, "What?" I was like, "I thought you were gonna say like Iron Man." I'm like, "I don't know," like lie to me. But then they were like Alexander the Great, and I was like, "Okay,
We love history.
sure."
Nah, we love
Bro,
fake
I
history.
was like, was Alexander the Great Egyptian? I was like, why are you in this tomb? I was so confused, and I was like, maybe he's an avatar. I was like, I don't know what's happening here.
It
That
was
was very
confusing.
confusing.
I thought it was gonna be something else too, but like I think Steven even mentions, he's like, well, Alexander and insisted on being called Egyptian, but he wasn't, and then they kind of, I think they mentioned that that Alexander was he the first or he was the last avatar of Amit, like the one they've been chasing, whatever.
He was the last avatar, and like it does kind of play on history because he was a conqueror,
Yeah.
which I do kind of like the aspect of giving this actual person this kind of immortal background, so to speak.
Yeah.
Even though it's not technically history.
But no, I mean,
but
I agree with Kim. Like, I was like, okay, who is it? Oh, okay, Alexander the Great. Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
but they made it like such a big deal. They were like, oh, can you believe that? And I was like, yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
I was like, uh-huh.
but yeah, I like what they tried to do. I feel like it was kind of a miss because like I see what they were trying to do. Like I said, give history a MCU answer.
Version,
Yeah, because that's
as
what
to
we
what
want.
happened to this person.
I mean, that's what people want. Like I said, I think this show is for the hardcore comic book fans, which is great because there needs to be more shows like that. But I think as an MCU property, there are going to be a lot of people like Kim or myself who are kind of like, I guess more so Kim, because there's some parts I do kind of like, where it's like, okay, what's happening? Like, is this really like a cool thing? Is it not? But yeah, like I said, I think if they stay on this path of like, okay, this is what really happened, this wasn't really happening, that'd be cool. But I mean, we'll see.
No.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like next week. I know I keep saying this.
We have said this every single
Let's
week.
get a next week counter going, and then we'll get it for next week as well.
Believe me,
And
this
on-
is the
on
one.
the-
Next week,
on the
next
finale-
week shows up. We're like it has to be the finale. I
Let's
mean,
say that in the finale, we're gonna
It has
ask.
to be next week. There's
Finale.
nothing else.
Finale, we're gonna be like, all right, next season, let's do.
next season it has to be the one, or maybe we'll just like watch the finale and we'll just be like, well, maybe Doctor Strange will have like all of a sudden Alexander the Great shows up. We're like, oh, okay.
He's like, I'm the new Iron Man,
okay.
guys. Well,
He's like, hey, and we're like, he wasn't lying. Like, bro, I don't know. Like I said, look, just like I said, every single other week.
Mm.
I don't know, man. This is one of those Marvel shows where literally I'm gonna let all of our wonderful viewers know. I love you all, but I'm gonna let you all know right now. I completely forgot that Moon Knight came out Wednesday. Completely forgot. We're recording this. I finished watching the episode maybe not even like half an hour ago.
Yep.
I'm not even lying. I completely forgot that it was a thing. And I sat there and I was just like, oh my God, I should probably watch that.
Yeah.
Like, and then I did. And now I'm just like,
More confused.
should I have?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think you're right.
Not
Though.
should
Like,
I have, please?
I think there are things to enjoy, not just in this episode, but with this show. Like I said, I think this is really for people who are into the Moon Knight comics. Like I said, which is not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think that it's not even a downside, but I guess since the MCU has known to be able to bring in a casual fan and have them have a good time, if you're a casual fan, maybe you might not find the best entertainment out of it. Because even me, someone who is a little bit more into comics as general but doesn't know much about Moon Knight, there are times where I'm like, what's going on? Like, what?
Yeah.
I feel like the part and when I mentioned that the twist should have been last episode is because in this episode, I feel like the whole tomb raiding kind of stuff. I think that was a cool idea, but I feel like it went on for a very long time. Like there was I was like,
But shout out to that fucking fight scene between Layla and the Pharaoh's like
like the money,
assistant.
yeah,
Yo, Layla
broke his arm
kicks
off.
ass.
There was that jump
Stabbed him in the
scare.
eye with a flare. I was like, please go off.
Also, you know what's so funny because you mentioned the whole tomb scene. So there is this one scene where oh my God, that weird little creature shows up and he's like, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
that's
who's he
the-
knocking? I'm like, what's happening? And then he shows up. At first, I was like, oh, somebody's knocking. Then I was like, oh, that's just what he sounds like. So then he brings in this poor dude, this poor extra, just shows up and he like puts him on the table or whatever it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I literally said this out loud. I was like, no, he's not gonna kill him. It's a kid show. And then all of a sudden, I just hear, and he just stabs him, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's not a kid
Well,
show."
Yeah,
he was he was
Oh my
mummifying
Yeah,
god.
mummifying,
is what was
sacrificing.
going
Oh,
on
was that?
because
I thought
like
he
they
was gonna eat him.
like a few
Yeah,
moments before they kind of showed these mummies on the wall. That's what
They
they were saying.
did.
yeah.
Those were the
'Cause those were
victims of
all
the people who had a.
Arthur's
I didn't.
people
I didn't
just hanging
understand that
out.
part.
Yeah, I did.
uh,
I felt I was like, oh, if you're kind of like if you miss a moment in the beginning, you kind of get confused of like,
Yeah.
okay, we're here. This is where Arthur's people already are. Because I
mm,
missed it for a second. I was like, wait, are they already here? But then I was like, oh yeah, they already had the compass and whatever, and they're looking for the
Yeah.
tomb and stuff. So
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. But I enjoyed the episode and like the twist the
yeah,
when we wake up inside of the psychiatric hospital. This was pulled kind of directly from Moon Knight Volume 8,
I did see that,
which was the Jeff Lemire run.
which
And
I
it,
heard is a good run.
and so I've been mentioning it here and there throughout the weeks because we did get that split second of him in the psychiatric hospital in the trailer. So like it's one of those things I kind of felt that was coming. So to see this week as the payoff,
Yeah.
that they did pull inspiration from that volume, which was it recommended reading for anyone who does want some Moon Knight knowledge.
Moon Knight.
It is really it's a really good a solid run. And so we see Mark in this psychiatric hospital that's overrun by Dr. Emmett, who turns out to be Amen in disguise, and the orderlies, Billy and Bobby, who are orderlies in the actual show. They're orderlies in the comic as well. So I thought that was a nice shout out as well. We see Billy and Bobby in episode
They were
2
the cops, right?
when
Back in London.
they were the cops.
Wasn't
When
that the
they're
name I gave to the third persona?
Yeah,
the
she
other day?
said Billy Bob was a third persona. Yo, we saw Billy Bob. He was locked away.
Oh my god.
Kim
Oh
works for
my
Marvel.
god. I'm getting these things right. Oh my lord. What if I get anything else right? I don't find out anything till Doctor Strange comes out. Good
Oh,
lord.
man.
I hope I'm
Oh
wrong.
my
Oh
goodness.
my god.
And then we like throughout that run, we kind of see Amit try to convince Mark that his entire life is a fantasy, which
Yeah.
is kind of what they played on. In this one, Amit tries to convince Mark that he's been in this asylum for 12 years since he was 12 for 12 years, and so we kind of see different aspects of his personality throughout the run as well. It's a really solid run. Of course, there are a lot of major differences in the from the show to the comic. One of which, Khonshu isn't even inside of Mark right now. So, and
Hot.
Khonshu's kind of one of the. All right, Khonshu is kind of the villain of that run,
Yeah.
but of course, they're going a different way. We'll see how it plays out.
Mm.
But yeah, so that's why I got an enjoyment out of it, kind of seeing them pull those aspects from the comics. But I definitely agree with you that that same enjoyment is not going to be had by someone who knows nothing about this character, is already confused going into the twist, and the twist just makes it even more
Yeah.
confusing. And then at the end of the episode,
Yeah.
you're just like, haha, yeah, cool.
That was gonna be my next question here. So Kim,
Yeah.
what did you when it got to that point of the asylum?
Mhm.
What was your thought process, and what do you think about do you think the show up to this point wasn't real? Was it all in his head? Was it real? Like,
I feel like it was real. In my my headcanon is that it was all real. Because you know why? I'm so sick of those movies or those shows that are like, by the way, it was all a dream. And it's like
Nice.
not
Good
real.
reference.
And I'm like, wow, what a great waste of my time. Like, I'm like, this was awesome. So I am hoping and praying and pooping and farting that it was
Alright.
all real and that it was just something that just happened when he like hit his head or whatever it is. Like,
he
I
got
don't
shot.
know.
He got fucking
He
blasted.
got shot.
Oh, that's right.
But
He got
see,
shot.
a
May he rest in
good thing,
peace.
a weird thing. Well, not a weird thing. It may be nothing, but I like that he got shot twice. Because
Oh,
I
Make
feel
sure he
like
does.
hello?
I,
Uh,
I'll
Listen,
follow
Kim,
it up.
this is
Hold on,
carrying
I'll
over.
follow it
This
up.
is carrying over from
Mm.
earlier. In Young Justice, there's a bug that he doesn't like. It's a whole. He's on a murderous rampage. right now.
Hello. Oh my lord.
He
Well,
wants that-
yes,
he
I
wants
can only
that bug
find
to
out
just
if I end up
eat it.
watching the latest Young Justice episode.
Make sure you guys watch the Young
reaction
Justice
video.
reaction review. YouTube.com/. We don't have a custom URL yet, but it's coming at 100 subscribers. Anyways, continue.
Not the
Yo,
shout
good
out.
shout out. Good shout out.
But yeah, I like the idea that this may be headcanon, I don't know. But I like the
Headcanon,
idea
published
that
author.
Jack not Jack,
Jake,
Haro shoots him twice because he knows about Mark and Steven. but he doesn't know about this third
About Billy
guy.
Bob.
Billy
He
Bob.
doesn't
Yes, he
know about
doesn't know
Billy
about
Bob.
We
Billy
did
Bob
get
Thornton.
a Billy Bob tease. He was in that third.
We did get a
two.
Billy Bob, and like I feel like Mark kind of knows because I feel like he did not
He was just
really
like, oh, he's like,
hesitate
keep moving.
when he saw the coffin. He just kind of kept moving, and he already knew that, you know. But we'll see. We'll see. we
So-
gotta see. You know,
yeah.
there's only two.
I mean, I would
next
hope we
week.
do see.
Yeah, so we only got 2
Ne-
episodes.
next week.
Next week.
Next week. I promise
So-
you. Next week is the week.
Okay. Somebody,
So-
somebody clip that really fast.
Yeah,
And
we'll
then
see
we'll
what
come
next
back
week.
next week and we'll see. We'll see if he was right.
So my last question for you, Kim. What was
Yeah.
your as soon as that hippo pops up, right? And the end
Oh my
credits
God.
roll, what's your immediate thought?
I was like, that's my new favorite Marvel hero. I cannot wait to see more of Hippo the Hippo. I was like, this is gonna be great.
Good names.
No, honestly, when I saw that Hippo show up and literally like she like showed up just like wonky. She was like,
Oh, here we go.
hi. I was like, what the fuck?
Hi.
And I was like, okay, cool, really awesome. I was like, so it ends like that. Great.
Okay.
As if hearing, oh, this casket belongs to Alexander the Great wasn't already confusing enough.
Yeah.
They were like, let's bring in a hippo.
You know what?
Which
dude?
I'm sure for all you comic book fans out there that are
You
like,
know
but
what's funny?
I don't know who that
actually-
is.
You know what's funny? She's not in the comics.
Oh my god.
She is an actual Egyptian god. Her name is I wrote it down. It's Taweret. She is the goddess of childbirth and fertility.
Fertility.
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
she's not
they
in the
never
comics.
adapted her into the comics at all, like as one of the gods.
We don't know what she's about to bring to this story.
That's so. You know what? You know what it reminded me of?
We are as lost as you are when it comes to this character and what's about to happen.
You know what
Which
it-
I
No
ca-
way.
you know what it reminded me of, and Kim, maybe you might know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Since you don't really know as much about DC comics than like E and I do. You ever go watch a DC movie and
Yeah,
they
I've seen
introduce a character that you like, oh yeah, everyone should know this character because they think
Yeah.
like, oh, it's DC, people are gonna know, and you're like, who the fuck?
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker.
Oh,
So when she
my favorite. You know, when I hear DC, like my first thought is not Batman, nor Superman, nor Wonder Woman. I go, God, I really hope they bring in a Peacemaker TV show.
hey,
And Peacemaker fans, rejoice. Rejoice!
Can-
We have our own show.
I know you're
Yeah,
gonna.
I don't know that
I
guy
know you
is.
said you're gonna watch Young Justice eventually. Quick
I remember.
spoiler: there is a Peacemaker shout out that they want him to join the Justice League in this. So get ready for our new Harley Quinn push. Is going to be Peacemaker for the next few years. He's going to be in movies. He's going to be in shows. He's going to be in video games. He's going to be everywhere.
You
Gonna be
know, I
everywhere.
know it looks like I'm smiling, but it's only because the model like can't actually frown.
What do you mean? This is you.
So, yeah.
you.
Oh yeah. I can't frown. I just
I lost it in
I-
the war.
yeah. Sorry. So when I heard about Peacemaker showing up, I was like, you know,
We
smiling. Love it.
Can we also talk about Steven and Layla's awkward ass kiss?
Oh, the
Oh my
kiss! I didn't even
God,
talk about
dude.
the kiss.
Yeah. Oh
So
my God.
uncomfortable.
I was like, I
What do
know
you
it's
mean?
your-
Well, you don't think that was hot?
I was like, I know that's your body, but that, you know what it made me think of? When in Wonder Woman 1984, everyone's favorite Wonder Woman movie, when
Yeah.
Wonder
that
Woman
come out
Solid
already?
movie.
it came out, it was
Yeah, just yesterday.
Oh
Just yesterday.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, don't.
When-
tell
It's
me.
so good. Oh my god.
Wonder Woman just has sex with some random guy, but it's because it's
I'm sorry,
Steve
what?
Trevor's
Yeah,
personality.
no, it's
you know?
okay. She had sex with this guy, but it's okay because her dead ex possessed him, so it was
Yeah, he
technically
was
her dead ex,
possessed,
even though it was
so,
someone
you
else's
know.
body. You know, so it's fine.
So that's what happened in that movie, Kim. That had to go through multiple meetings and multiple drafts of script. They're like, yeah, put it in. So,
I'm so sorry for any DC fans out there. I'm so sorry, guys. That sucks.
but it made me think of
Anyways.
that. I was like, that's not your husband.
Right.
Oh my God. That it's so crazy to me because like when I saw that at first, like, oh no, actually, no, let's talk about how when they fall into like the whole tomb. And Layla like is like the first one down there, and then like Steven like falls in graciously,
Yeah.
and then he's like, oh wow, or whatever he says, and then Layla's like, yeah, and then she's like, oh wait, the statue. I was like, oh really good. I'm so glad they added that part in. That was awesome. Like as if they didn't just finish kissing, but okay, sure,
It
whatever.
was just a whole weird interaction. Like, I know they're trying to build
Yeah.
to like Steven loving Layla, but
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
It's weird.
Yeah.
That kiss
Mhm.
just like it. I think at one point I audibly said, "Ew."
Ew.
Like, ew.
Ew!
He was
Like,
just like, it was like
'Cause
they were
he-
straining.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's like
like,
they were
all of a
both
sudden it
going
was-
at 50%. You know.
Yeah, like all of a sudden it was just like it was like,
Oh, here we go.
and then that was it. That was it. You do not have to watch the episode. I did it for you right there.
Oh
That's
my
literally
God.
how it went. It was very much just like, okay, I guess.
Okay.
It was like Steven has never kissed a girl ever before
Pretty
in
much.
his life.
I mean, I'm
I
assuming
was
he does,
like,
but like, yeah, it was
damn.
just weird, dude.
Mm.
But I mean, they try to set up that moment so Mark can punch him after. But I'm like,
Yeah.
just weird,
Yeah,
dude. Just weird.
which was, yeah. I was like, oh, okay, he got punched. I was like, okay, there's the consequences, I guess. So, yeah,
There's
I
the
don't know. Great
consequences, I
episode. Great episode. Like,
Yeah, I honestly, I have no
wow.
idea where they go from here. Like, we got hippos. We have this third
Mark
person
my words,
locked
okay?
up.
Mark my words.
Here we go.
Oh, I
Next
get
week.
it.
Here we
Pun
go.
intended.
Next week.
Oh, because his name's Steven. I get it.
Next week we are
Okay.
getting fun. We have to. We've seen there is. We have to. They have explained the majority of his backstory finally in this episode.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to Layla's father.
Oh, let's talk
Oh
before,
my
before we get
jeez,
too far.
Lou.
Before we get too far from that E.
Oh, okay.
So they were just like, "Hey, by the way, Layla, yeah, he was there,"
Mm-hmm.
and it
Yeah.
kind of didn't like. It was this whole build up, which obviously we knew the secret. But it was this whole build up last episode, and they were like, "Hey, he was there," and then she was like, "Were you
Yeah.
there?" He was like, "Yeah, I was there." And then
And then I was like, I was just sat there and I was like, okay, so he was there. And then that was it. I was like, okay. I was like, I guess. Sick.
like I said, don't get me wrong.
That
I
was
think-
awesome.
Don't get me wrong. I think there are things to enjoy in this series. There's some cool action. There's some cool fights. There's some cool little moments. But if you're not like into the comics, and that's why E is able to enjoy it, which is great. Like I'm glad people are able to enjoy it to that extent. It's you're either gonna be like, this is kind of weird. I don't know what's happening. Or like, oh fuck yeah, Moon Knight, fucking put it in me, you know.
Whoa.
But
Who said
continue,
that?
continue your point. E, sorry.
Who said that? No, but like I said, we finally got the majority of his backstory, so we know that he and we know that he was in Egypt. You know, her father died. We know it was his partner, which is
It's
pretty comic accurate.
Bushman,
oh,
right?
go
Is
ahead.
his name?
Yes, Raul Bushman, who
I did my
is one of
research.
nice.
Wow.
But he is one of Moon Knight's biggest villains. So it's good to get these breadcrumb bread
Wait, hold on.
You got a link for that? Like, what's you watching on Disney
even.
XXX? Like, what's going on?
Oh, yo.
bread
Oh my
Can't put
crumbs,
that on
you
top.
know,
Right.
of the popular characters in the comics. And so I feel like with all of these hints dropped, we have next week.
Next
you know, that's
week,
all
it's
I can
coming.
say.
It's
Next
coming.
week, it's coming. If it doesn't come next week, don't come at all. You know, you just
That's good life advice, honestly, in the bedroom. So
Yeah, that is very
Exactly.
true. Yeah.
no.
if you don't have
Yeah.
bread come, don't come at all.
Exactly.
Exactly,
Ladies, I
you
hope you're
know?
all listening. There you go.
So would you say Bushman is his arch enemy, kind of how like Peacemaker's arch enemy is
Oh my Jesus Christ.
insert Peacemaker's arch enemy here?
Violence.
Yeah, that guy
That
Warrior.
guy
That's
and or gal, you
or
know,
person or thing.
or person who
yeah.
Now
knows?
is his
Peacemaker has
Mm.
such a good rogues gallery. You know, that one guy and the other, and you know
Oh,
it's like here,
Not
the thing
lying.
is,
them.
here's the thing.
you know?
James Gunn could have used so many different characters.
To go off on a tangent about Peacemaker on a Moon Knight episode.
Anyways,
You don't
It all
understand,
comes back to Peacemaker, man.
and when it's not, because when it's not Batman, when someone else finally gets to step into the light,
hey, you got Bat Wheels coming. Don't forget.
it's
Wait, what's coming?
It's Bat wheels.
You thought you've seen it all, Kim? Can't you wait for the next animated DC hit, Bat Wheels, where the
Don't do
Batmobile
this.
has a face?
Don't do this.
And that's not all, Kim. You want to know what movie is coming down the pipeline?
I promise I don't.
Before you say that,
I
E,
really.
Super Pets.
okay. I was gonna
Oh
say,
Wonder
my
Woman's
God.
pet is a
I
pig.
was gonna say, Kim, you know,
Oh
how,
my
like,
god.
you know how Spider-Verse came out and it was like, yo, this is dope. This introduced a lot of people to Miles Morales. It looks like a comic book. Maybe this will open up the pathway for more animated comic book movies on a big screen. You know what DC said? Fucking put the pets in there, dog. That's all we need.
Bro, you know what's so
Exactly.
crazy? Like I saw that trailer before I watched Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which we'll
Shout
talk
out.
about in another episode.
Yeah.
We probably
Sonic review
Um,
probably not
So
coming
we
to this channel.
probably
subscribe for more Sonic the Hedgehog content.
won't.
Yeah, no, I saw that trailer and I was like, no way did they get Kevin Hart to be one of the pets too. I was like, what the dude. Anyways, you know what I'm
Anyways,
really
Moon
hoping that
Knight.
they do? I hope we get a spin-off Moon Knight where it's like it's all about Alexander the Great and like his story. Like that's all we're missing at this point. Honestly, that's all we're missing. So I
Let's
can't
see.
get over that. I'm sorry. I'm
That's not-
sure all you Moon Knight comic book fans are like,
No.
actually
I don't
it
think
makes
he- I don't
sense.
think
but to
Alexander
me it
is-
doesn't.
I don't think he's
It didn't
anything.
do that in the comic.
Oh,
Let's see, Kevin-
then never mind. I love you
That's
guys.
not
Sorry,
that's
just
not
kidding.
gonna happen because Marvel makes good business decisions. You know, they're not gonna make a pets movie.
He couldn't even say that without laughing. I'm so upset. He
Oh.
could not even finish that sentence without laughing.
Like, why have a character like Wonder Woman and make a movie about her pig? That's what I want to know. You know, like,
But you know
who-
what, Damien? You know what? At least we're getting a Wonder Woman video game
Oh my god!
eventually. you
why?
know?
Why do you guys enjoy the pain? I don't understand. I'm so sorry.
Anyways,
This is so
Moon Knight
upsetting.
episode 4. I thought it was okay. I thought the ending made it better than what it was going to be.
Hi.
Make sure you guys tune.
Look. I will agree there because the ending was the more interesting
Yeah.
part. Like legit,
Yeah.
like it really was. Like as action packed as the rest of the episode was, and how sensual that kiss was. It I don't know, man. Like if the episode ended
Oh, when
without
Mark and
that,
Steven kissed each other in the hospital.
yeah.
Is that incest?
Wait, okay, let's
No,
not.
it's yourself.
Okay.
It's masturbation.
Oh, you're right.
Wait, please. Not for my tacos. So
if you F a clone, it's
Okay,
masturbation.
all right.
Okay? That's just
Jesus.
common knowledge.
well, I
all
gotta
right?
get out of here.
So, final thoughts on this episode. Next week is what our thought is for this.
Yeah. Next week, that's gonna be the one.
Oh, it will be. I promise. Have I
Any-
ever let you down?
Any final thoughts, E or Kim? You guys want to
All
give this
right.
episode?
Let's not answer too fast.
Okay.
Any-
My final thoughts are, man, something interesting, better legit. I know we're like memeing around, but something interesting better actually happen next week, or I will
It
have
will, you
wasted.
can trust me.
Trust
I
E.
will have wasted 6 weeks of my life for like an hour or whatever it is.
Yo, they're
just
pretty
watching
beefy
Moon Knight.
episodes too. Like an hour,
man.
full hour.
Yeah.
Bro, yeah, see, an hour. Like, if at the end of these 6 weeks, I sit there and I'm still like this, where like maybe it'll get better. I'm gonna be pissed. I'm
See you
gonna-
in Doctor Strange. E, any final thoughts?
Next week. Next
my
week. Next week is the week. Nah, but I was like I said, like if you're a
yeah.
comic enjoyer,
Mhm.
you probably got what you needed out of this episode. And I feel like we all collectively, comic enjoyer or not, we all collectively said, "Who the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
In the last scene. So I thought that was a good way to bring everyone together.
Yeah.
Because while they are pulling a lot from the comics, there are characters that aren't in the comics. The comics that they are pulling from, they're doing it in different ways. So there's still a lot for everybody. But I do feel like if they want to maintain like having these shows that everyone can watch, this was kind of a complex character to start with. Because he's got a lot going on.
Yep.
So I enjoyed it, but I can see why, not your average reader can be just over everything. Right?
Yeah.
But next week,
Next week.
next week's the week.
Next week.
Well,
Yep, you heard it here first.
Like I said, I see where E was coming from, and as I'm watching it, I'm like, I can see where comic book enjoyers get it, so I see that part of it, and I also see what Kim's saying, where it's like if you're a casual fan, you're probably not going to get as much out of this show as like WandaVision or Loki or something like that. So we'll see. Trademark,
will
we'll
see.
see. Trademark next week.
Yeah,
Yep,
because
next week.
this is the first. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but this is the first
first-
Marvel series where
A new
a Marvel
character,
character
right.
has not appeared in the
in a
movies
movie.
first.
Yeah, so it's like a brand new introduction, first time.
So yeah. So and that's I think it has that working against him.
Yeah.
Because even with, the Hawkeye, the Winter Soldier, all this, we had their backstory. So they jumped right into the action. This series, with his complex ass character, we're going in raw. We don't know
Raw,
anything.
live,
First
emotional.
breadcrumb, now oh boy. All right.
We don't know anything. We don't know anything going into it. No one's mentioned this guy before. He's just some dude, and now he's got superpowers. So we're having to learn all of this information, not only about this complex character, but also about Egypt deities, which I'm sure your average person knows very zero about. So, so we're getting a lot of information. I think, it might be biting off more than it can chew for your average viewer.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I know
next
the
week.
best Egyptian deity, Yami Yugi. Am I right, Kim?
Oh my G. You know what? If Yugi showed up, I would have applauded. I would
What
have
do
been
you
like,
mean?
this
He was
makes
in the
sense.
tomb.
That's true. He was in that third tomb hanging out.
Yeah.
Jesus. Don't
Well,
do
Kim,
that.
thank you for joining us from your
Yes.
Taco Bell appointment. Make
Thank
sure
you for having me. It is time that I leave because I think they're already closing.
Oh,
so it
okay.
is time that I start going. But
Well,
Yeah, I
thank you
haven't
for
seen
having me,
anyone in the
guys.
drive-through in a minute.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, because
Does
I
she
took
even have
I
a
took
car?
all
Did
the
she
day.
walk?
I think she walked
I'm
there.
walking. Sorry that I like to walk. Well, thank you again for
All right.
having me.
Well, thank you all for watching. Thank you all also shout out to everyone who supported the last video, one of our more popular videos. We appreciate the support on there. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Follow Kim on Twitter. Where can they find you at again, Kim?
Wait, I'm coming.
Oh.
Okay. You guys can find me on Twitter at Ghostly Amethyst and over on Twitch at Twisby/Amethyst.
Yeah.
That's where you can find me.
I don't want to tell you how to roleplay, but when you walk away, you should like talk further from the mic. Okay, bye, Kim. I'll see you later.
Okay, bye. See you
Okay,
guys
she didn't-
later.
she
Hey,
didn't
can I
back away.
come in?
She didn't back away from the mic at all. She's literally like on the fucking mic.
All right.
Anyways, thank you guys for watching.
Hey,
Like
can
and-
I get it?
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Okay,
Okay,
bye.
bye.